Alright, what's up guys? In this video, we're going to pick up some calculus here, and we're going to do some more trigonometric integration. This is going to be example number 6. So let's go ahead and take care of this one here. So as evaluate the integral tangent cubed of 7 theta times secant cubed of 7 theta d theta. So the first thing I would do is do a u substitution. Obviously, the best selection for u would be 7 theta, and then that means that we need to find du, which would be 7 d theta, and we'll essentially get 1 over 7 du is equal to d theta if I solve for d theta there. 1 over 7 is a constant, can pull that out. Then we'll have the antiderivative of tangent cubed of u multiplied by secant cubed of u, and integrate that with respect to u. Now we can do a little bit of rewriting. So remember that tangent cubed of u, that's the same thing as tangent squared of u multiplied by another tangent of u. Okay. I'm not going to touch the secant, and you'll see why in a minute. The best way, or the reason why we wanted to break up the tangent is because, remember, we can use the following. Remember that tangent squared of u, we can simply write that as -1 plus secant squared of u. And so what we're going to do is we're going to replace our integral with everything. So we got 1 over 7 times the integral, and I'm going to bring my secant cubed of u over on this side. I'm going to put the tangents next to each other. So remember, we still had a tangent left over, and we changed that tangent squared of u to -1 plus secant squared. So that's going to be -1 plus secant squared of u. And we're going to integrate this with respect to u. Now, if you look at the integral here, it looks like we made it a whole lot more difficult, but in actuality we didn't, because now we can do a u substitution, as opposed to when we were up here originally, there was nothing we could really do with that as it pertained to just jumping right off with some integration technique. So by doing a little bit of rewriting, we were able to make the integral, get it to a point where we can do another substitution. So we can do another substitution here, and in the cases where you have to do another substitution, you want to use a different variable. Don't use the same one that you used before, which would be a u. Use a different variable. It doesn't matter which one you use, but use something different. In my case, I like to go a little unconventional and use w. Most people use v, but I use w. Again, it doesn't matter. So for the next substitution, let's pick w here to be secant of u. And the reason why we want to pick w to be secant of u, remember the derivative of secant of u is secant of u times tangent of u du. So what that's going to do is cancel out the tangent. So dw is going to be a secant of u multiplied by tangent of u du. And then that just gives us 1 over secant of u times tangent of u dw is equal to du. And what it does is it cancels out the tangent for us, and it also cancels out one of the secants as well. And so we still got our 1 over 7, which was what we had on the outside there. And then we have the integral of -1 plus w squared multiplied by w squared dw. We can go ahead and expand that out. That'll be 1 over 7 times the integral. Well, if we expand it out, looks like we'll get w to the 4th. And looks like we'll get minus w squared, and then dw. Okay. Or if you wanted to, you could have easily written it as -w squared plus w to the 4th. Didn't make a difference how you write it. And now we just integrate it. So it's going to be 1 over 7. This would be w to the 5th over 5 minus w to the 3rd over 3 plus c. Now remember the substitutions that we did. Remember u was 7 theta, and then w was, what was w? Secant of u. So all we have to do to get our final answer is put those back in, basically. So let's go ahead and do that. And that'll give us our answer. Okay, so looks like our final answer here for this integral, or this trig integral that is. We're asked to integrate tangent cubed of 7 theta multiplied by secant cubed of 7 theta. And it looks like our answer here is just going to end up being, if I distribute in the 1 over 7, I'll get 1 over 35 secant to the 5th of 7 theta. I distribute into 1 over 7, just keep that in mind, minus 1 over 21 secant cubed of 7 theta. And then we need to add a plus c. And that'll be our answer for this. All right. So hopefully that made sense. So that was trigonometric integration, example number 6. So let me know if you got any questions about how I got my answer, and we can talk about it. I'll see you guys next time.